My name is Allie. I'm your tutor this evening.
Ali.
Yeah, I'm originally from Canada, but right now I'm in Costa Rica,
Costa Rica, is it in South America?
Central America.
Okay.
I'm just traveling, so I'm surfing and I'm just hanging out on the beach, learning some Spanish.
And how was your experience? Because you born and brought up in Canada, right?
Yeah, so I've lived in Canada my whole life. I'm originally from like Toronto. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Canada at all, but I'm originally from Toronto, and then now I live in Vancouver.
I think these are the famous cities, I guess, in Canada, right? I don't know if
Yeah,
it's cities or states, but I have heard the name Toronto and Vancouver.
yeah, they're like our two biggest cities for sure.
I'm kind of surprised because most of the time when I ask people, right, if they want to migrate to some country, usually they say I might migrate to Canada, Australia. So Canada is one of the country where people usually like to migrate. So
Yeah,
what
so we do. We're Toronto is like the most multicultural city in the world. We have people from everywhere that come to Canada. So I think that's probably like a big reason why. Like any city you live in, you're always going to find people that are, in the same culture as you and like maybe from the same country as you or their parents were. So I think there's like a lot of like you can find your community in a different place, which is really cool.
yeah, even a lot of Indians actually migrate to Canada.
Yeah.
Usually the people from Punjab, they are in Canada. Even I have
Yeah.
few of friends who are living there. I don't exactly know the names, but one of my friend was staying at there's some name called Kitchener or something.
Kitchener, yep. Yeah, so that's a couple hours outside of Toronto.
Yeah. This thing also, right? People say like the temperature goes up to minus 50 degrees, 20. Is it true?
So yeah, in Ontario it can go down to like minus 40. Sorry, Toronto is in Ontario. So like yeah, Toronto like it's a little bit more south than it's like a little bit more south in Ontario. So like they probably get like minus 15, minus 20 in the wintertime. It's not all the time in the winter, like it's at night usually, like when the sun goes down. So it's not like all day every day, but yeah, it gets down to like minus 20. And then but in the summer times it gets like 30, 35 degrees.
The two seasons are there, or there are four seasons that we have in
Four seasons.
the.
So like
Okay.
we have spring, summer, fall, and winter.
So is there any place in Canada if I go and I don't want to be in minus 20 or 15 degree and but I still want to be in Canada, is there any place that I can go and stay?
Yeah. So Vancouver and Victoria, the West Coast, they don't get very cold. They probably get like 4 degrees Celsius
Oh, then it's good.
in the winter. Yeah. So like it doesn't snow there often, and if it does, it's like one day out of the year hot. So you'll probably get like 27 degrees to like 30 degrees in the summer.
So how you guys actually manage for these long winters where you see just see snow outside, what you do?
So, like winter jackets are a thing, like winter jackets, winter boots, like really warm clothing. All of our houses are like insulated properly. So like we have like interior heating. So either like, and then your houses are insulated. So it keeps all the heat in. And yeah, it's
Oh.
not bad. Like it's always inside's fine during the winter. But if you want to go,
But how about the normal life outside?
yeah. So like if you have kids and they want to play, you just put them in a snowsuit and put them outside. You make snowmen and you can go tobogganing. Like in the wintertime, I snowboard.
And how long you actually been in Costa Rica? For how long?
So I've been here for 2 months now.
And before that, you're in Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. So the whole trip to get all together, it'll be 3 months long. So we leave August 9th and then we go to the US for a week and then we go back to Canada. I'll be back home in a month.
So for now, you don't have restrictions to go because of the COVID. Is it you can go and fly without any restriction?
It depends where you're flying from, and it depends where you're going. Like Costa Rica is open for tourism,
Mm-hmm.
so people can come here. Canada, you can leave. You have to get a swab coming back. So I've had my vaccine. I've had one, and then I've actually had COVID as well. And
Oh,
then when we go to the U.S., we'll get our second vaccine. So in Canada, if you don't have a vaccine, you have to quarantine when you go home. Like you have to do like a 14-day quarantine. If you're fully vaccinated, which we will be by the time we go home, you don't have to quarantine. So like the borders are open for fully vaccinated people now, or Canadians, fully vaccinated Canadians.
so uh, okay, I got it. So you're going to get two doses of the vaccine, right? And first you have already done. So is it you done it Canada, and now second vaccine you are going to get in Costa Rica?
So
Is
I
it?
did one in Canada, and then my second one I'm going to do in the USA on my way home.
Uh,
Yeah.
which vaccine they are giving?
I don't know which one I'll get in the US, but my first one was AstraZeneca.
But how you are getting all these visas to travel across the country?
So because I'm Canadian, I don't need a visa to enter the US.
Is it only for Canadian citizens or is it for PRs also? Suppose if somebody has PR of Canada, he can also go to US. Is it?
I don't know. I think you need to be a citizen. I'm not entirely sure though. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, like if you it's because I have a Canadian passport. So when I go to when I go through customs, like I'm exempt from biometrics, I'm exempt from like a couple different things, and I don't need to have an ESTA.
Oh, because they are neighbor countries, right? Maybe.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's just an agreement that we have between the two of us. We share like biometrics and border information and stuff. So for Canadians, you can just go in with your passport and that's it. So like we have like pretty good like social services. Like we have free healthcare, right? So that comes out of taxpayer money. And everybody, it's universal healthcare, so everybody has access to it.
Is it buying a vehicle in Canada is cheaper? Because almost everyone goes to Canada, have cars and all. So is it buying a car cheaper there in Canada?
I don't know. I've never really bought a car anywhere else. uh, I I don't know. Like what's like expensive? What would you consider expensive for a vehicle? I think it depends like the car brand as well. Like we have manufacturers in Canada. So like if you're buying like Ford or I don't even know,
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
like
I
Chevrolet,
checked
like
for this car called
yeah,
Ford GT Mustang something.
yeah,
So maybe
yeah.
that's the reason.
It's because they get made there, right? Like we have places that make them. There's also places in the USA that make them, but we don't like. There's cars that like don't get imported. Like there's no import fees on them or anything because they were already made there. So I think that probably reduced the costs of.
Yeah, I think taxes is one of the reasons. And how about if somebody do not eat meat or eggs and he's just a vegetarian? Do you think he is going to survive in Canada?
Absolutely. I don't eat meat. Obviously, in bigger cities, you have more access to like better restaurants, like more kind of like luxury foods. So like I don't know, like tempeh or like fake meat, not fake meat, but like yeah, like
Yeah,
veggie
I heard
meat.
about this. Like they say something called vegetarian beef, something
Yeah,
they
yeah. It's actually really, really good. And so yeah, like you can get certain stuff like that in like bigger. Like if I go to my hometown, like it's outside of Toronto and it's a very small town, you can't get a lot of those specialty items there because you just don't. It's a small town and they don't provide it. But in bigger cities, you can get these things, and it's like it's super accessible. It's super easy. Like I think a lot of like it's yeah, it's easy.